Australia. For a plucky big three-side slayer. What a player, what a player, what a player.
Hello and welcome to What a Player Concussion Sum Series match day review of the second T20I between India and Sri Lanka. We've all been expecting that India will steamroll Sri Lanka throughout because there was a B side playing. Now this was a C side, D side. I don't know. I think there was only 11 players available and everyone got a chance. For a second, I was wondering whether Rahul Dravid might have to pad up and or maybe Murli Karthik would end up having a game. But to discuss everything about the second T20I, which Sri Lanka has won and leveled the series 1-1, I have Vishak with me. Vishak, how are you doing?
Good, Sanjay. How are you?
Great. Before we start the game, I must spend a couple of minutes just mentioning how lucky these players are to get an India cap. You remember the likes of Amol Muzumdar, Shivalkar, Mithun Manaz from bygone era who played for years and years, never got to represent India. And just
one more name which I want to say, Sridharan Sharath from Tamil Nadu. Scored lots and lots of runs for Tamil Nadu. Didn't get a chance.
Yeah, but just because, adversities have brought opportunities for a lot of these lads and it's great for them. But yeah, I feel sad for some of the players on the bygone era. But yeah, that's for a later time. Let's have a quick review of what happened today. So we fielded 6 bowlers, Vishak, and 5 batsmen. Unfortunately, that's what we could. Sri Lanka won the toss. Give us a brief overview of how the match panned out.
I think, unfortunately, we lost 9 members of the squad. We had a 20-member squad. We lost 9 members. And we had only 11. And we had to field all the 11. And out of which we had only 5 batsmen. And Sri Lanka won the toss and rightly put us in. Because they knew that we cannot go hard. We had only 5 batsmen. If we go hard and if we lose wickets, then we are into a very long tail. So they knew that we would play conservative. That's how it planned out. The first 15 overs, we were scoring at around 6.5, and we had 8 wickets in hand. So they knew that that is how it's going to be. And if India don't capitalize in the last 5, they know that they can restrict India to a modest score. That's what they did. They used the spinners pretty well. If you see in the first 9 overs, they didn't allow the Indian batsmen to settle. They used 8 bowlers in the first 9 overs. So that was, and most of them were spinners. And I think one of the reasons was they were handicapped with Isuru Udana getting injured as well. That's another thing. But still, they used the spinners pretty well, contained our batsmen, made sure we don't get to a good score of around 140, 150. I think we were around 10. It was a tough pitch to bat on as well. It was turning. It was actually stopping a little. We got to a very good start. We were around 49 for no loss in the 7th over. But unfortunately, the spinners then put a stranglehold. And Dhawan could not get going after that first wicket partnership. And he was almost kind of struggling. He played a less than runnable 40. But then, again, and Padikkal, I think, played a very good innings, decent innings. But Sanju Samson, I was disappointed with the way he got out. But we could not get the hand kick, and we just ended up with around 132, which was a subpar total on this pitch. And again, I think credit to our bowlers to making that score, 132 looking so huge and getting the match to the last over. We had a very inexperienced team. I think Sri Lanka held the nerve in the end. They had some very good partnerships as well in between. Our spinners bowled pretty well, but it was not enough at the end. Yeah, and I think the turning point was that rain which coming in the 19th over, and the ball became slippery. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowling that one full toss.
Yeah,
that won the match.
Yeah, it was one of the better T20Is I've seen in the recent times because it was a difficult wicket to bat on, lots in it for the spinners. The batsmen had to really craft for the runs, and any poor balls being dispatched to the boundary always sort of helped. It was literally 6-10 runs here and there, Vishak, as you mentioned. Whether I'm happy or sad, I'm happy with the performance because what can you expect? I'm happy that there was some cricket. We got to see decent performance and decent game, and the series is nicely poised. Few points which Ajay has rightly pointed out. One is about Saini not getting a bowl. Were you surprised or were you fine because there was so much turn on offer with 3 spinners? Dhawan obviously thought that it wouldn't make much sense to get Saini, who's generally
And other thing
on
is
the
signing.
expensive side.
In this kind of pitch, you need bowlers who bowl slow or vary a little bit of pace. So I think Saini was picked in this team because there was no other choice. They had to go with 11 players. That's the reason he was picked. But if it was a fast and bouncy pitch, I think Saini would have definitely got a bowl. There was some strategical thing that Saini did not bowl. It was not like they didn't want him to bowl. But I think Dhawan missed a trick. When the pitch is turning, he could have used Dana for a couple of overs in between, which he did not do because you need your spinners to do bulk of the job. And as Ajay rightly pointed out, Sakaria has leaked some runs in the first 2 overs, and we could have covered up one of those overs from Sakaria if Rana had bowled those 1 or 2 overs. So I think that is where he missed a trick. But I don't find any fault in Saini not bowling.
Yeah. This is slightly looking ahead. Someone's got injured. Will we end
It
up
was Saini.
playing? Yeah, Saini, a poor guy. He came into bat at number 7. So he was picked as a batsman maybe, but didn't get to bowl. And, hopefully he's fine and he'd be able to play for the next game.
No, but I think he has a dislocation kind of because the way he landed and the way he carried on. I think he'll be put on a slinger. That's the way he was almost keeping his hand like how you keep in a slinger. So I think he might not play tomorrow. I think one of Ishan Koral or Rajamani Sai Kishore might get a debut for tomorrow. Because I think I would be more tempted to play Sai Kishore because the way the pitch is turning and being a left arm spinner, I think he can be the key.
Yeah, this is great opportunity for anyone. Like today, on a difficult pitch, someone like Rana or Sanju Samson, they could have put their hands up and be counted because this is what we will remember come, the World T20, any performance under pressure. Unfortunately, all the batters we had picked were top order batsmen who bat generally for their sides 1, 2, 3 in IPL. And most of them are stroke makers. So Sanju Samson, I felt bad for him, but you have to adapt and try and, at least get run a ball because I think that's where we lost the game because Sanju Samson and was it Rana both didn't get a run a ball. I think Padikkal, as you mentioned, 29 or 20.
Dhawan also 42 ball 40.
Yes.
I think Dhawan's strategy was to bat through the 20 overs and take risk in between. So I don't find any fault in Dhawan's. Maybe 42 balls 40 was a little slow. Maybe that 42 ball 50 would have made a difference. I don't find he could not go hard. He could not play his natural innings like how he plays recently in the IPL because he knew that we were at least 1 or 2 batters short. With Bhuvneshwar Kumar coming at 6, you know that your batting is ending at number 5. So you cannot go hard and lose. He, being the experienced batter, had to bat through and ensure that he can carry the team through to a good total. So that was a strategy, but unfortunately it did not work out. I think the spinners bowled well to him and they kind of put a stranglehold on him.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I would say that this is not an ideal T20 pitch. I mean, it's good to have some assistance for seamers or spinners, but I think this was a bit too much for the spinners in it, and it doesn't really facilitate high scoring, shots from the batters. So
something like the initial Chennai pitches of IPL, which we never advertised. I think it was something like that.
And it reminds me of the India-New Zealand game in Nagpur of the 2016 World Cup as well, which we lost to New Zealand because it was a ranked turner almost. So very, very difficult. But overall, I think considering this is an India B side effectively, I'm more than happy with the performance. It's nicely set up and think India should do well and hopefully win the series. Looking slightly ahead or, slightly to our bowling department, Kuldeep Yadav bowled really well. He had really some unfortunate incidents where the DRS wasn't taken. Then there was a catch drop. Then there was, and then there was another one where we didn't even appeal, and there was an edge going down the leg side. So he could have easily got 4-5 wickets. So he had a decent day, I thought.
I think he bowled pretty well today. He could have easily ended up with 3 or 4 wickets. Actually, he also got Dhanjanjaya De Silva out once, which was they did not appeal or something like that. So had that been done, I think we would have won the match. So you never know how things go. But he bowled pretty well. I think that 4 overs 30, 2 for 30 does not reflect how well he bowled. I think he bowled pretty well today and easily could have ended with 4 or 5 wickets. So it was a good sign that he is coming back to form. Is bowling pretty well. And I think Sanjay is asking how good was Dhanjanjaya De Silva. I think he has always been a good all-rounder for Sri Lanka. But the thing is, mainly like he has to maintain that consistency. That's his main problem. He has been doing pretty well in the Test circuit, but in the T20 is I think he's getting a chance now because some of the players are injured and some of them are not there. But I think he played pretty well. He made sure he remained calm at the end. He did not panic. He and Chamika Karunaratne at the end. They knew Chamika Karunaratne, and even if you see, he denied there was an extra run that Chamika Karunaratne denied against Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and he was so confident that he could take on Bhuvneshwar Kumar. And the next ball, Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowled was a full toss, and he hit him for a six. So
Yeah, they were
those are some
really,
critical decisions
yeah.
that worked for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, and Dhanjanjaya De Silva was the player of the match as well. I'm just going to read out what Shikhar Dhawan and Dhanjanjaya De Silva said. Dhanjanjaya De Silva said, "We were looking for this win. I'm happy to contribute to a win for Sri Lanka. I always thought and knew it was about one big over. I decided to bat till the end. We held our nerves today." Obviously, having those big hits at the end really helped. It was literally a matter of one wicket here and there or 5-10 runs here and there, and it could have been a different result. Shikhar Dhawan said the surface turned and it was stopping a bit. We knew we were one batter short. We knew we had to construct our innings. We were 10-15 runs short. I'm proud of the boy. Never say die attitude is amazing. Hats off for the boys taking it to the last over. Absolutely, I completely share his feelings because considering the situation we've been in, because it does play under the minds of the players as well, because we hope all the players who are potentially in the circle of proximity of Krunal Pandya, they are all safe and well. They'll soon come out of this COVID and they would be able to resume play as soon as possible. What if India had won today? How bad this would have reflected on Sri Lanka? I think they would have been completely demoralized, as Ajay has been asking, because you cannot expect Sri Lanka playing at home to get beaten by a second or third string Indian side, irrespective of how strong India's bench strength is, Vishak.
Yeah, I think we most of us expected Sri Lanka to win today. I think this strategizing was good today. As I said, like they won the toss and they rightly put India in. That's where I think, and they knew that India could not go hard, as I already mentioned, right? So they strategized pretty well. They used the spinners, which is the strength. Their strength is the bowling, so they thought that they'll do that first, and then let the weaker link do the job. I think that was a very good strategy to do because do your strong thing first, restrict the opposition, then back your weaker thing, which to actually chase a kind of a mediocre total. I think it was a very good strategy, and even I think tomorrow the same thing would happen. Whoever wins the toss is going to win the match for me because both the teams' stronger suit is bowling, and the team which wins the toss will definitely look to chase tomorrow. So I don't see any team which wins the toss, like which bats first not scoring more than 130, 140, and the other team chasing it. So that's how I see the match panning out. So who wins the toss would win the match tomorrow.
Yeah, anyways, this is a big trend in world cricket where you try and chase because setting up a target is always difficult. And some place like this where the wicket is already tough, I think it's more difficult than normal. A quick question about the IPL because we know none of the Sri Lankan players are featuring. Potentially, this opens up if decent performances come through, like someone like a Dhanjanjaya Hasaranga, they might start getting contracts.
I think with the next year with 10 teams, right? I think a few more players like Hasaranga a few more players will definitely get picked. I think definitely Wanindu Hasaranga will get picked. Being the second ranked T20 bowler in the world, if he's not getting picked, it's something the franchises are missing. I think it's not. He's not someone like he is not. He has performed everywhere, right? Everywhere, wherever he has played. It's not like he's performed. It's not like a David Malan who's performed only in England and then not performed outside, and still the number one player. But this guy has performed everywhere, wherever he has gone around the world, and I think he definitely deserves a chance. Actually, we were expecting him to go in this auction, like this year's auction, also for a good money, which did not happen. But next year, definitely with 10 teams, I think Hasaranga will definitely get picked. Not sure about the other players, but he is definitely. And I think Akila Dhananjaya has one more. He was picked by Mumbai Indians previously, I guess. I think this will be the two players to look out for.
Yeah, that's for another day. Varun actually bowled well. I quite was impressed with his bowling, but to be honest, this was very sprint friendly wicket. So all the spinners doing well is expected. I would have been disappointed if any of the spinners had leaked runs, but good on him. He did well. Looking forward to the next game. Are we expecting many changes? I mean, what more changes will you do? Literally, whoever's injured or having any other issues, hopefully not, is going
Just
to.
one change. And actually, today, HD Ackerman was supposed to almost went to ask Shikhar Dhawan, "Are you going to make any changes?" And he stopped the question. So he knew he can't make any changes. Only one change, as I mentioned, would be Saini since he's injured. He could make it for a Ishan Koral or someone like a Rajamani Saikishore.
Okay. Similar sort of pitch. I'm guessing. I don't know whether they're playing on a different surface or would it be a same pitch, because I'm hoping it'll be a slightly high scoring game with all our middle order, top order, because we got so many stroke makers. I'd like to see a high scoring game to round the trip to Sri Lanka up.
I don't think it will happen. With both the teams' weaker point now being the batting, if we had played with the same lineup as the first T20, right? At least I could have said that we could have a high scoring game. But with this batting lineup, which is ending at 5, I don't think they will go hard. And India, I think, will prefer chasing with this, as I mentioned. Sanjay, so one question for you: what do you think India should do something different from what they did tomorrow, to actually win the game?
I think they should keep going hard at the top. Like, try to get 60 odd runs in the power play. Even if we lose 2-3 wickets, I know this could have become completely embarrassing if you're batting first, getting all out for 100, 110. So I just hope that it's a good game. I don't think we could have done much differently, because this is, we are all looking this through the lens of what's happened with Krunal Pandya and the team. Had this been a normal team, I'd be slightly more disappointed, because I would expect at least the likes of Sanju Samson, Nitish Rana to grab these opportunities. These are not going to come by once the senior team or the A team is back. It's possible Rana may not get a game for some years, potentially. Sanju Samson, people have been trusting him, and he's disappointed. And it's not that he's getting any younger. Although I must say, I was impressed with his keeping. He did keep well. He got the stumping right, although he has to probably have a bit more work on his DRS capabilities after Mahendra Singh Dhoni. No one seems to be able to match his DRS Dhoni review system. Basically, he would get pretty much everything right. So we had 2 instances which could have won us the game. So those are the sort of things. Gaikwad, I thought, and that's what Ajay's pointed out as well. Gaikwad versus DDP to open. I think DDP should have opened. Even in domestic cricket, I don't think that Gaikwad opens. DDP is a designated opener. And the only reason I can think of is that it's 2 left-handers and they got 2 off-spinners. But so what? We have right-handers opening all the time. So, I don't know. He did play well, though. Vishak, what's your thoughts?
I think Gaikwad played pretty well. But my point is, if India bat first, I think DDP should open, because you need someone. That means that you have 2 similar kind of players. Gaikwad and Dhawan, they don't go hard. If you have DDP at the top, you can ask him to go hard, like how we used to do with Virat Kohli in this IPL. So that something changes the dynamics a little bit. But if India is chasing, I would still have Gaikwad opening, because it kind of, the target, and he can use. If you see his innings with Chennai Super Kings, he does well when actually they're chasing. He knows the target, he knows how to pace the innings, and he can perfectly go on. And if it's a mediocre 130, 140-ish, 150-ish total, right? With his strike rate, it would be a perfect kind of innings. If he gets a 60 or 70, it means that he can win the game. So I think if India chase, I think Gaikwad should open. Or if India is batting first, it should be DDP, so that we can go a little hard in the power play, and Gaikwad or somebody can steady the innings.
Yeah, and is this the last T20 before the World T20? Vishak, correct me if wrong, because we got the India-England series. I don't think before IPL we got anything else, right? So this is
I don't think we don't have any ODIs also. We don't have any T20s also. So straight away we're playing the England series. After the England series, we're heading to the IPL. After the IPL, it's the World Cup. And I think we have a test series against New Zealand after that. So that rounds up our calendar. I don't think we're playing any ODIs. Yeah, T20s we are definitely playing because we're playing the T20 World Cup. But
Yeah.
before the T20 World Cup, I think this is the last T20. I think this was also a kind of a last minute arrangement because we were talking in March that the last T20 which we played against England would be the one, and we just have the IPL to figure out the squad. I think at least we got this particular series to at least look at some of the French players so that we know whom to carry and whom not to carry with the larger squad. So I think it will definitely help. I think someone like a Sanju Samson, he has not helped his cause. He's got good chances, but he's not helped his cause with his performance.
Yeah, I can't even begin to think how our team would look like come World T20, and you'll have to sort of rely on the IPL performances and then make a combination, and hopefully that works because, as you mentioned, we haven't got any limited overs cricket for up to the World T20 and no more ODIs through the end of the year. So let's see. Excellent, Vishak. Thank you so much for giving us all those insights about the game. And for our viewers, if you're here for the first time, please do check out our channel for other contents you may like. All we do is live, breathe, sleep cricket. So everything on our channel is related to cricket. Hopefully you'll end up liking something. And if you do like something, please do give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, family, and do subscribe to our channel. We really look forward to your love and support and look forward to having you back on another day, another show. Till then, take care and be safe.
Yes. Thanks everyone. Stay safe.